Good evening, everyone, and thank you for coming to Deb Chanel's 48 World, where we do soap opera reviews. The soap opera we're going to be going over today that aired on yesterday, July 1st, 2016, Eastern Standard Time, 3 o'clock my time zone, was The Young and the Restless. The summary they give us today is Sharon is backed into a corner, Adam is blindsided at his trial, and Victor makes a shocking announcement. Okay. We go in where we kind of sort of recapping from yesterday's episode. Well, not really, because I don't remember having this particular episode showing this particular scene. Anyway, it goes into Adam is reading today's newspaper of the upcoming events that's pretty much happening in the news in Genoa City that morning, and it is highlighting Adam's trial date set for today. And they already pretty much, in the public eye, they have pretty much viewed him as being guilty. So he's letting Chelsea, his wife, know about what's going on, what's being said about him within the community and what people are saying and thinking about him. We go to Michael. Michael comes over to tell, well, Michael and Kevin come over to tell Adam and Chelsea that they're still working on who that mysterious woman is. They cannot ascertain who it is. They don't look at the videos, I don't know how many times, sideways, trying to get it to flip around so they can get some type of view, a glimpse at her sideways or whatever. But she was very cautious not to be catching herself on videotape. So she was doing that thing when it came to that. Okay, we go to Jack and Summer. They're both at the courthouse because, like I said, this is Adam's date for his trial for Constance Bingham's death, and Jack is there for more support for Adam, and Summer's there for more support for her grandfather, Victor. Jack is still trying to make headway to her while she don't pretty much understand that her grandfather is such a heel. But in actuality, when the episode is done with, Victor kind of looks like the man who's actually buried the hatchet and has put family first and foremost on any trivial thing he may be going through. So, and he actually takes a bullet for somebody at the end as well. But before we get to that, we go on to where Nikki has called herself, making her way to the courthouse. She's there at the courthouse to see how Victor is going to act towards his family. Went on the stand. Paul and Christine comes in and notice that she's there, and they're pretty much asking her, why is she there? What purpose could she possibly bring to light by her being there? And with her upcoming divorce papers being finalized, why even put herself through it? But, Nikki's going to do what she want to do. We go to Dylan. He's getting ready for the courthouse. He's at home getting on his clothes and stuff and kind of lightheartedly talking to Sharon about everything. Sharon says she's going to take the kids to the park and look at pre-festivities they're doing for the 4th of July. So that should be something entertaining for the kids. And Dylan pretty much leaves after that. Mariah comes out fussing after she knows Dylan has left the house about Sharon lying to her once again. We leave there. We go to Nicholas comes over to the office to pick up Victoria. Of course, she's trying to get out of it. She's saying she's swamped with work, this, that, and the other. But Victoria, the only thing you're swamped in is being head over heels infatuated with Travis. Come on. So Nicholas pretty much tells her, look, honey, you come into court. We're going to have to stand united, even though we might not understand whether Adam is guilty or not. But we all know that our father Victor has a strange way of showing his loyalty or his disloyalty toward family. So we all need to stick together when we're trying to combat and go up against him. So she finally half-heartedly understands what Nicholas is saying is true. And she get her little keister up out that seat and go on to the courthouse with him. Okay, we see Victor's telling Dr. Gates to help him with his tie. He's trying to get, situated so he can go to court. She says she wants to go and be more support for him. He's saying he don't want her to be there at the trial, but she wants to go for more support. She keeps telling him that. Victor says he's going to get his family first before they get him. Dr. Gates is kind of taken back. She's questioning Victor's motives. She's thinking his family was right about him all along. But basically, Victor feels like she got in his business too far, didn't know the whole story before she tried to put her spin in it. He said, really, I don't want you to go because you sat and told something that was private between you and I. You went and told Christine and Paul about it. And I didn't give you permission to do that. And so she's still feeling some kind of way. And for what it takes, I don't know if he realized she was there prior to him getting on the stand. But he turned on her behind. He made her look like she was doing stuff unjustly. Because he even told when he got on the witness stand that Dr. Gates has become was having feelings for him other than what's normal for a patient and a doctor relationship. I'm like, Victor, why do you do that? Why did you do that? But anyway, she's looking kind of feeling some kind of way because he told her he didn't want her at the trial, but she brought her little keister butt up in there anyway. So I guess she showed him, but then he ended up showing her at the end. We go to commercial. We come back. We have Mariah has found a bottle of Sharon's medication that is totally filled. And of course, Sharon's going to say, no, that's a new prescription. I've taken all my medication, this, that, and the other. But Mariah's not really buying that. Okay, we go from that situation. We go to Victoria. She's questioning Nicholas' motives to go to the court to support Adam. Then we go back to Meredith. Meredith and Victor are fussing when Ian pops in and tells Victor he wants the same thing because, Victor was telling Meredith that he wants justice to serve and he's there and he's going to get justice. So basically Ian was passing by. They had the door open. Or hell, I don't know, he might have opened the door. And he just let Victor know all that. And then Victor cussed like, oh, I'm going to get that little weasel. But then we leave there. We go to Adam. He's still fussing with Michael, Kevin, Chelsea. And Adam says he has to solely depend on Ian's testimony. Because he is looking sideways at Michael, Kevin, and Chelsea. Like they just don't understand what he's going through. And it doesn't seem like nobody's on his side but Ian. So he's going with that. Anyway, he tells Michael and Kevin to go on outside because he want to have this last and final time at this point with his wife. And basically Adam wants to have, some alone time with Chelsea prior to going to court. He's trying to be positive with Chelsea, but it's all a front. But he wanted to kind of like calm her down because he could sense and see, she was just distraught all in her behaviorism and her facial expressions. We go to commercial. We come back. Sharon and Mariah are still fussing about her bipolar episode. She finally admits to being off her meds. And she just, seeing things and this, that, and the other. But she was saying that was helping her not see things with being off her meds. But we all know that's not true. We leave to that situation. We go to Nikki. Nikki is fussing at Christine and Paul. And Dylan. She can't believe they are believing Victor's innocence. After all he done did to everybody. After all he done did to his, immediate family. She just can't believe the foolishness that they are basically talking to her. We go to Adam. Adam comes to court and sees Jack. They have a little small talk. Adam thanks Jack for being there for him for support reasons. That meant a lot to him. You can tell in his facial and body language. Chelsea shows up at the courthouse with her son Connor in tow as Victor is just having some words with Jack. But Jack just leave him there like, I ain't got time for you. You already in jail. That's the best I can do for you. So he leaves pretty much. And then he's left with confronting Chelsea and his grandson. And of course, Chelsea's going to her little pity party spiel about, how could you do this to your son and your grandson, and da. But anyway, he just dismissed whatever is coming out of her mouth. And he goes and make pleasant with his grandson, Connor. But then, of course, Chelsea goes off again, and he's pretty much like, let me go, because I don't want to have my grandson looking at me. You see, I got handcuffs on. So he pretty much left Chelsea in the dust, and ignoring her from that point on. Then we go to commercial. We come back. We have Chelsea's arguing with Victor. Okay, yeah, he walks away. Yeah, say he don't want to. Okay, I went too far on that, but we got the gist of that. We go to Christine and Michael. They both start their opening statements. A lot of stuff is, being talked about the trial, how it came to be, da. Then they move to cross-examining the witnesses and, hearing the witnesses' testimony and this, that, and the other. Then we go back to Mariah and Sharon at the ranch house. They're still fussing with Sharon. And Sharon is getting very excited. She wants Sharon to take her meds. Sharon also has realized that Sharon is seeing, Mariah has also realized that Sharon is seeing Sage because she blurts out something at the thin air. But of course, Sharon is seeing Sage, but there's no one there for us, the viewers, to see, as well as Mariah being there telling her, what the hell you talking about? Ain't nobody there. So she knows her mother is experiencing, and more than likely has been experiencing, bipolar episodes where she's visioning things that are not there. And, Sharon just gets into an uproar. And she's saying, you seeing Sage? Sage is dead, Mom. Like that. And, Sharon's still not clicking in reality. She's going in and out. We go back to Ian. Ian Wars is called to give his testimony. Of course, he gets up there and just says whatever he wants to say. He wasn't believable. I can't even believe they would have thought he would be a believable act. But anyway, we go back to Sharon. Sharon lets her visions get the most of her. And she hits Mariah over the head, thinking she's hurting Sage, which is the dead Sage. And now Mariah is on the floor bleeding and unconscious. Okay. Then we go back to Ian. Ian is giving his spiel on how Victor set up Adam, which is not believable at all. Then we go to Christine. She calls Victor to the stand to testify against Adam. Victor blows us all away with his testimony, but we're going to jump back to Sharon again. Sharon falls to the floor to see if Mariah is okay, but she has a big gash on the left side of her face, at the top of her head. And Kevin walks in because he wants to get Mariah's take on something, and he finds Sharon over Mariah, who's, unconscious on the floor. And immediately he asks Sharon what happened, what's going on. And of course, he comes in the door. He goes to Mariah's side as well and checks her pulse. And Sharon is looking up there, like trying to wake her up and just looking like craziness all over her body. But then we go to Victor at the courthouse again. Victor gets on the stand to say that Adam was being set up. His son is not a murderer. He also says that Dr. Gates has feelings for him. So don't pretty much believe anything she says. It was a hot mess. I was there for Victor. I'm like, well, God dog it, Victor. And that's what I'm talking about. Stick with family, okay? But you're going to still have to do some more time or serve your time. Or you might get a, award for, protecting an officer of the law because you took the bullet that was meant for him, or probably meant for you, but you just went on and put yourself in harm's way after the incident with Ian kidnapping Nick. But we'll get to that. But it was just a turn of events on Adam's side because basically he was thinking his dad was going to get up there and destroy him and put all this false testimony on him, this, that, and the other. And Victor just did the opposite. So we can pretty much say Adam is not going to jail. Then we go to Ian Ward. Ian has taken out of the courtroom because he's finished giving his testimony. And he thinks his escape plan is on, the up and up. So when he gets out, he don't see nothing or nobody trying to do nothing. he's saying he's been had. So he starts to subdue the guard while Nick is not paying attention to any of the scuffleness that's going on. And, you know, she just walks right into everything. And instead of her taking her blood right back in there and telling them some action is happening outside with one of the guards are in trying to get loose. No, she didn't do that. She just stayed there like she couldn't move. Like, really, Nikki, you move when you have drunk. You know what I'm saying? You move on out the way and get in folks' way and stuff like that. But you can't move when you're sober. Girl, get out of here. And then, so, like I said, Ian and the guard starts to tussle and everything, and he knocks the gun, and he knocks him out, you know, which is miraculous, because that was just a fake scene, too, because it just wasn't believable. But anyway, he gets the gun, he points it at Nick, and Nick is just, ooh, 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 I don't know what's going on, I don't know what's going on, and all this, acting kind of crazy. And somehow he gets a hold of her, holds her as hostage, has her at gunpoint when Victor's coming out with his guard because he's finished testifying. And then they walk into all the commotion, and then the guard that's supposed to be guarding Victor, he draws his gun, and Victor's ascertaining the situation, so he's thinking that the guard might mess around and shoot Nikki by mistake, because, you know, of course, he ain't going to use her as a body shield. So he was pretty much knocking the gun out the his guard's hand, and also taking a bullet because Ian had fired at them. So he took a bullet in the back part, so he lands to the ground, and then Ian pretty much hustles Nikki out the courthouse, which that was stupid as hell. I'm like, what kind of courthouse is here that you don't have officers around anyway? You know, but it is what it is. Dylan comes out and this and that. Instead of him running after Nikki and Ian, he stays there to try to give Victor some what do you call it, medical attention. I'm like, this is so fake. I'm like, ew, it's getting on my nerve. The only high point of this whole show was pretty much Victor not testifying against his son Adam, and Sharon just losing her mind. Well, she definitely gonna have to come out and say what's going on with baby Sully, which is Christian, but she's gonna rudely find out that Nicholas still ain't the son. I mean, the father of baby Christian Sully. You know what I'm saying? So that's gonna be a hot mess altogether. Once again, bad for Adam. But anyway, then we leave that situation. We go back to Kevin is trying to check a pulse on Mariah, and he's looking at Sharon like she crazy as all get out. So hopefully Mariah's not dead. She's just unconscious or whatnot. But definitely Sharon needs to be back in a mental institution. She can get herself together, and she needs to free herself of what she thinks she knows is a secret. You know what I'm saying? Well, we know she ain't the mother, but the father's not dealing either. So, woo, some hearts got to be mended. Some families got to be mended back as well. But that was my take on The Young and the Restless that aired on July 1st, Friday, Eastern Standard Time, 3 o'clock, my time zone. And hopefully they'll show us Monday a new scene, or because of the holidays, they may not. But if they do, I'll be here giving you my narrative with visuals of what happened on today's soaps. Okay, guys, y'all have a beautiful 4th of July weekend. Those who are celebrating it this weekend instead of on next week. Be safe with all your festivities, and I'll see you next week. Thank you. Bye-bye.